Students, बात चल रही है about the wireless local area networks, also called as the wireless LANs and also called as the wireless Ethernets. Students, all of these different names, the name that we normally most commonly use is the Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity, and this is after a name that was given to this, although it's in a different context, but the name that was given to our wireless Ethernet by the Wi-Fi forum. It's a forum that contains multiple representatives from over 300 countries, and the Wi-Fi forum, it actually works for the betterment of the wireless Ethernet technology. So students, Wi-Fi is what we are talking about in this particular case, or wireless LAN or wireless Ethernet. Students, कुछ characteristics की बात करेंगे that are particularly related to wireless local area networks, and these characteristics, they are either not available or not applicable to the wired Ethernet networks, or they are so negligible that we don't even consider them in the case of wired Ethernet. But they are very important in the case of wireless local area networks or wireless Ethernet. Students, the first one of these technologies is the attenuation. Students, electromagnetic signals, they get weaker and weaker as they travel. Students, wireless is an open medium. The medium that we are using in wireless in the form of broadcast is air. The electromagnetic signals, when they are transmitted from the sending end to the receiving end, they are dispersed in air. And students, because of this dispersion, only a small amount of these electromagnetic signals, they reach the receivers. And most of the times, the strength of these signals is not enough. And we encounter a situation that we call as attenuation. We say that our electromagnetic signal has been attenuated. Students, the next one is interference. Interference normally happens when you're talking about communication in air. The receiver does not only receive a signal from the intended sender. There are multiple other senders who are sending the signals, and so all of these signals are also received. Because you're talking about a broadcast media, you're transmitting or communicating in air. The interference is the interference of all the other signals that are being transmitted around you with the signal that you actually want to receive, and that is from your intended sender. So what happens is the interference between these signals that causes your electromagnetic signal to be degraded as well. Then students, the multipath propagation. In the case of multipath propagation, what normally happens is the actual signal that you want to receive, you receive that perfectly fine, but then you receive multiple other versions of the same signal as well. And how you do that is the original signal, it gets reflected from the ground, from the walls, from the layers in the sky, and trees and all the other obstacles that you have around the field of communication. So what happens is you receive the original signal, but at the same time you receive multipath propagation of the same signal, which is due to all the other obstacles that you have around you. And students, because of that, you receive multiple copies of the same signal, but with different phases. And that causes a further noise, and that noise is called multipath propagation as well. And students, because of all of this, we need to be very careful about the error and the error detection techniques in the case of wireless networks. Students, the error detection techniques works with a basic ratio which we called as the signal to noise ratio, the S divided by N. We have already discussed that in the case of wired networks. Students, S by N becomes even more important because of all these additional sources of noises that we have got in the case of wireless communication. And students, we need to take care of the fact that our signal is strong enough that the noise it does not impact our signal to noise ratio. And as you already know, signal to noise ratio, if it is higher, means our signal is stronger than our noise, and our signal is going to be received in an appropriate fashion as it was transmitted from the sender end as well. So signal to noise ratio and the error detection / correction is something that we need to take care of as well in the case of wireless communication.